Okay, calling to order the Board of Assessors meeting of September 12th at the Lakeville Public Library. The first agenda item is to ask if anyone other than LakeCAM is recording this meeting. I don't see anyone indicating so. We have some invoices to sign that are making their way down the table. While Dave and John do that, we have a copy of the minutes from the August 7th meeting in our packet. If we have reviewed them, I will entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried unanimously. I'm going to sign mine, pass it down to you guys, and each sign and give it back to me. We can give it to Linda to give to the clerk's office. We also have some updated monthly monthly reports for March and August. Also some statutory exemptions for August, and both from Munis and Vision. The next agenda item is we've had a request. I'm not really sure how to put this. I don't know if it's necessarily a request, but clarification. So our clerk currently is full-time and has been working full-time in our office for a significant amount of time. And in order for her to be eligible for all the vacation time eligible to her, the Human Resources Department, I guess, needs to make some changes in order for her to be eligible for that. And they need a recommendation from us if we're comfortable with using her past time and experience to up her vacation time to what it would be for anyone else in that position.
Just for the record, how long has she been working in the Board of Assessors?
2017 maybe? It's been
Before
a
I was
while.
there.
Yeah, probably, yeah, at least 6 years. So I am in favor of it. Again, she's...
I am too.
I would be in favor as well.
Yeah, so, okay, so we'll take a formal vote in favor of advocating to have the clerk's vacation time take into consideration her past service and time in that position. Anyone want to make that motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I will make a note to send an email over to HR. Okay, the next agenda item, which I'm assuming why the few folks we have here are here for, is an update on the second quarter preliminary tax bills. I'm going to make a couple of comments on these. We were able to, in discussions with the DOR and the town's finance team, which I would like to go on record and publicly thank, because this isn't something that is, obviously there was an error done that normally doesn't happen, but the fact that we did a administrative abatement on preliminary tax bills is something that normally doesn't work very well in the municipal finance system. It's something that doesn't happen on a regular, very, very rare basis. But the DOR, in working with them and working with both the town accountant, our treasurer, the town administrator's office, and some other key players, our outside consultant for Munis, which is the town's finance software system. We were able to make that change, and I'm assuming some of the folks in the audience probably are people who live in the affected area, but there were letters that went out the end of last week. I believe the majority of the folks have received them, and basically what ended up happening was we were able to abate the preliminary bills so that they get retroactively changed the valuation back to what it was for an assessed value for last year, so your tax bill ramifications were what they would have been last year. If you had paid over, which most people did, what that number was, you either received, you may be in a situation where you still have a credit available, which will be carried out, and those funds will be applied towards your third quarter. But in a lot of cases, what happened is most people's second quarter went down significantly, and the letter that went out showed the breakout of all of that. So that is, I believe I hit on the update. Did I miss anything, Dave?
Yeah, I think it's important to note too that the tax bills went to the address that we had on file. So for some folks that are from out of state, If the lake home is your summer home, the tax bill went to whatever it is your home address is that we have on file. So we've got a number of folks come, like I had someone from Virginia and someone from Connecticut come to the office today looking for their letter. The staff in the assessor's office has access to all of the letters, so if you didn't receive yours, you can call into our office and Linda will either print one for you to pick up or she'll mail it out to you.
So at this point, that aspect has been rectified in the assessment process as is normally done. It's going to be a little more expedited this year. The new assessed values will come out in the fall and they will be adjusted at that point in time going forward in the third and the fourth quarter like they have historically always been done. So I just want to make sure folks realize that the new assessed values, not necessarily the ones that you received, again, those went out prematurely, and those are not going to be the exact value. I do not know individually where they're going to fall, but you will receive your updated new assessed values in the normal time frame, which is in the fall of this year. So, anybody else on the board have any comments or anything want to say or point out before I ask any public comment?
Do we know when the updated values will be on the website?
When they will be on the website? I'm not exactly sure when they'll be on the website. I know they will be ready to present till
Yeah, they won't be.
October,
They won't
right?
be on the website until they've been certified by the Department of Revenue. But we're hoping that we are able to reach out to taxpayers in advance of that to give them an idea of where things will fall.
Okay.
I will open it up to see if there is any public comment that anybody has at this point.
So.
Yeah. Do me a favor, can you just state me, that's
Sure.
protocol.
Marcy, 33 Shore Ave. So the amount that we got in the letter is what we paid in November.
Did you need them to come up to the table to pick it up on the camera?
Here's the good news, you don't need to pick up the mic. See those little things in front of you? They'll pick your voice up, so you can either stand or sit or whatever you're
I'm Frank
comfortable doing.
Morrissey, 33 Shore Ave, her husband.
Okay.
The amount that we got on the letter,
Mhm.
is that what we owed in November?
Yes.
Yes, yes, there's 3 lines in the bottom one that says it's a smaller amount, obviously. That's
Right,
what's
right.
outstanding after
Yes.
So
the
that's the amount we paid in November?
Yep, correct.
And that's based on last year's?
last year's assessed value.
and-
Minus the extra you paid in the first quarter.
Yeah,
That's why should be pretty small.
So we're still gonna get a different bill than this going forward?
Yes. Again, that's normal protocol. The
I-
issue here was that this happened prematurely. So normally what's going to happen is...
So we can
whatever-
still expect a raise then in the rates?
I would, well, not the valuation, yes.
Yeah.
I think everybody in town is going to see an escalation,
No,
depending
that
on
was
what
because of
area
the
you live
computer
in.
glitch,
What's
the
that?
computer mistake? Is that what?
Correct.
What prompted everything to get changed early? Yes. The file was basically, a file was left open that shouldn't have been left open to I'm giving you the oversimplified
One day I had
version.
a phone conversation, you're Mr. Golden, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a phone conversation with Mr. Golden and an email conversation. And I questioned why my value went up so high, which we will be abating it. But after a conversation, telling about no water, town will only have a well, will only have tanks, Mr. Golden's response was, well, your rates went up because you can have water year round because you have a well. Which I have in writing, I don't have a well and a conversation on the phone. So I don't have any faith in this company at all. So, and is this going out to bid to change companies?
The selectmen's purview, they're the ones who
Selectmen, okay.
they're the ones who turn around
Okay.
and
All right,
decide
thank you.
what we use. Any other?
Yeah, Tony Larkin, 8 Meadow Lane. I don't know if you just asked,
Do me a
but
favor, just say it again, just only because LakeCAM's going to want to pick up.
Tom Larkin, 8 Meadow Lane.
Okay.
So are they gonna be assessed by, I think he just asked, but I didn't hear the answer. Are they gonna be assessed by the same company that did it last time?
So what I'm going to tell you is yes, that same company's under contract. They're the ones who coordinate the assessment, but the DOR, Department of Revenue, so basically the state of Massachusetts will be reviewing everything. So if there are any errors or there's anything that isn't done correctly, the state will be overseeing it to make sure it comes out correctly.
Okay, and you said it was a mistake because a file was left open. I'm just trying to, all right, once again, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm trying to figure out how a file being left open equals my assessment to double. How does that?
So I think there's 2 issues that you're asking about. I think it's almost like a rough draft. David was working on changing the methodology of valuing the waterfront homes on Long Pond. That methodology was incomplete and, in our opinion, inaccurate, inflated too high.
Yes.
So that's one.
All right, we're on the same page there, got it.
The second thing is, prematurely it got sent out. It should have never been sent out. So that rough draft should not have been sent out. So they're two separate things. The, in my opinion, inflated values, I don't think are going to be the final values that you see. We haven't seen them yet. It's not complete. But I don't think that once this new assessed values go out to all the taxpayers, they're going to see the same number they saw with the mistake, quote unquote. So the timing was off, but I think also the values were off at that point because it wasn't complete. That's the issue. Will they go up? Absolutely, because property sales have gone up.
Reasonably, that's fine.
Well, that's the thing. That's what people are arguing. Yeah, we understand it was going to go up, and waterfront values have gone up like crazy, but not that much.
Yeah,
And I
no.
think David would probably agree with what I'm saying. I'm not trying to speak for you, but
Yeah, mine literally more than doubled, so.
we
I don't
understand.
think
Trust
that's
me.
reasonable.
And I'll say it again because it seems like people don't understand this. I have a property on the pond. He has a property on the pond. We have the same letters you guys have. So it has affected us as well as.
Not like mine,
Yes.
though. Not everybody's got affected the same way, that's the other thing, there's a
No,
lot of
right.
inconsistencies,
Mhm.
okay?
Okay, that's, when I say the file got left open, again, I'm trying to oversimplify it, but that's, like David said.
It's kind of like the dog ate my homework, if you don't understand.
Well.
No, I don't think so.
No, it's completely inaccurate. And excuse me, sir.
No, it's
Sir,
not.
hang on, Dave. If you want us to talk, let him finish, then you can come up and say whatever you want. So, yeah, if when he was working on it, it had been closed so that it couldn't get captured when the bills went out, none of this would have happened.
And I'm hoping, and you know, within good faith, I'm waiting to see what the next ones come out, because if they're anything like they are now, then I too will, you know, abate it.
Honestly, if you're unhappy with the value, you have every right to, and we would, none of us on this board would tell you not to abate it. But the one thing I do want to emphasize is the DOR, you know, again, we've been working with them, they're gonna look at this as well. So I just, you know, want everyone to realize that it's not just one set of eyes looking at this. There's a lot of set of eyes. So if it's inaccurate, a bunch of people were off on it this time around.
And like I said, in good faith, I'm hoping you guys do correct it, right? Because mistakes happen, I get it, and hopefully you're gonna correct it moving forward.
But I don't think anybody has said, David hasn't said, RRG hasn't said that those numbers they felt were accurate. I don't think that they've said that. I think
2
they've
months
said.
ago you did.
You did,
Okay.
first meeting.
You have other?
One more question.
Yep.
The way RRG is doing this, or whoever's doing this, is a way, can you put that online so we can all see what this formula is, or how this is coming up, without, like, maybe a simplified version, and being transparency? No?
I mean, we can simplify it, but it's
Like everybody else.
millions and millions and millions of lines of code that can't possibly. I mean, if you're
Maybe dumb it down to my level. I mean, me and my neighbors, that's what we all want to know.
Yeah,
How do you guys come up with this?
I think the best thing to do at this point is when the assessed values come out, if you feel they're inaccurate and you feel, listen, I can show you other properties that are not valued this way or do not sell for that value, that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's what the market is going to bear for that in the year that we use. Now remember, we're always at least a year behind because we have to use fully matured data. We can't use the current year. But that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. So there's no real like, all right, give me the formula so I can turn around and see if I don't like something in the formula and I do that. At the end of the day, whatever the answer is, if you think the answer is off, you bring the backup and support. And we do grant abatements. It's not like we say no. Fortunately, it's usually pretty accurate. We don't have to grant a lot of them. But if there is something wrong and you bring up the backup information, you'll get abated.
And honestly,
It's a mistake.
that can be appealed to DEP, correct? I mean, to DOR, correct?
Yes.
ATB.
ATB.
Pellet tax board.
And is it customary that the way you guys assess or in the amounts would be reflective or pretty consistent with surrounding towns as well, or no?
No, we have to do it based on the sole data from the municipality in which the assessments are happening.
Yeah, we
In other
can't
words,
say,
comparable
Based on
sales
sales
from-
in Lakeville,
in Lakeville, we
Yeah.
can't say what's going on in
Freetown.
Freetown, or what's going on in Rainham, or what's going on in
But from the
Middleborough.
standpoint of the way you assess is the same. In other words, it's based upon comparable sales. So whatever the comparable sales are in one town, they're going to use those sales in the same year.
Yeah, you would
There
think
are
they would
s-
all jive, right? They'd all be reflective.
There are
of something.
certain differences, like you can do a certain percentage of full sales value. That's the only real difference between the way one town would do it and another, as far as how you calculate it. But the calculations can be different because two towns are different.
And when the percentage he's talking about, the 10% variance on either side of 100%, whatever we decide, everybody does it. We can't say, right, one neighborhood or one property
No.
we're gonna do, so it's gotta be very consistent.
I can understand why you're concerned, but I think, and it's easy to say and hard to wait for, but just, if we could just hold our horses a little bit and wait till you get the
Yep,
actual,
I am definitely doing that until the
Bill?
next one. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to, for myself, get some clarity.
at least now, it doesn't undo what happened, right? But at least now, we don't have to pay the crazy inflated amount for the second quarter. The third quarter, at that point, we'll know what the value is. If you feel like it's incorrect, that's when we go for the abatement process, which again, we'll walk people through, we'll meet at the senior center if we have to, for people that don't know how to do it. And then we're reasonable people. If we feel it's inaccurate, then we're gonna grant abatements. I'm pretty confident that there's not gonna be a lot of applications.
I hope so. And one more question, and this could be way off base, maybe not, but is there some way that when charging people taxes, it can be done a little more fairly as to the services they use?
No.
No?
No.
It's straight across the board?
Honestly,
That has nothing to do with the assessed value. of the
honestly, that has nothing to do with the community either. I mean, I could turn around and say, listen, I'll go talk to the select board, nobody can do anything about that.
So I have a waterfront property.
Yeah.
I don't receive any plowing or snow, any trash removal, nothing like that.
Yeah, me
But I
neither.
agreed to that when I bought.
Yeah.
So
That's why I was just asking, because no kids in school, no trash, no water, no sewer, nothing, same thing. So I figured I knew the answer, but I figured I'd ask anyways.
You can always ask the question, right?
Yep.
If you don't ask it, the answer's no, so.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any public comment or want to come up?
You stay there.
Actually, that's not going to work for, you got to slide the other thing. That's, just move a chair for it. There you go.
Okay, I have a question,
Yeah, I just
because I
need,
haven't been able to get, I'm sorry,
just
Annette
need- sorry.
Talmadge on 1 South Ave.
okay,
I haven't been able to get through to my mortgage company.
okay.
My escrow is being reevaluated this month. I got an email on that last month. Now, I did get through with, I call messaging HELL with these people, 15 minutes, and I couldn't even get a person. At the moment, they have us assessed, I mean, not assessed, but the tax thing is gonna put me at, just to give you a number, around $2,200 I'm gonna owe this November. From your letter, I'm gonna owe $149, so it's way off. Now, if I can't get through to them, and they run the refiguring of my escrow this month, that means that's gonna be for the whole next year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because you have to, because this last one, the incorrect 2,700 wiped out my escrow at that point. I even have flood insurance due in November, so I could potentially have a very large amount, way over $500 of my mortgage going up, even though I only owe, excuse me, the 149 by your recalculation of what I'm due for the second.
Did you get a
Quarter.
letter, ma'am? You got a letter, right?
Yes, you people are telling me,
I think what you're saying is you can't get through to the mortgage company.
Exactly.
To tell them, listen, here's a
No.
letter that shows you what's going on, or well, tell me what you'll need to do it. So unfortunately,
that's kind of what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
do I have any recourse either through you, through them? What happens as far as abatement? I'm concerned if they,
Is there sometimes on the back of the bill, there's an email address? Do you have email?
do I have what?
Email?
Yeah, I have an email.
Sometimes on the back of the bill, there'll be an email address for servicing or for escrow.
Okay, try
If
that
you haven't
instead.
gotten success by calling, maybe email
And I would
a
send them
copy of this letter by email. Then at least you also have it dated and a copy
Is
of
there a
it.
way to get a copy of that first letter from August as well? From your office or your office?
which
letter?
office are you talking
The
about?
bill?
first one, that first letter that came out that said that there was an error?
Yep, whatever we've sent out, we can get you copies of it.
Okay. If I
And
come
B,
to-
whatever, you know, I wish there was a magic wand, but whatever you need to do to get a hold of the mortgage company, if they need documentation or they need something from our office to have
That's what
them
I'm
reverse
asking.
what they've done, get it, tell them to email it to you, send it to you, whatever the case may be, and we will prepare whatever was in our ability to prepare to get
Okay.
them what you
That's
need.
what I'm asking,
Yeah,
thank you.
We will do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about.
Unfortunately, it's 2024. I wish I could make people answer their phone, but.
Gotta run over here first.
Any other questions, comments regarding?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have any new business to come before the select board? I mean, the select board, before us tonight. For the assessors, well, I'm just thinking something. All right, we need to go into executive session because we need to deal with
Good
some
night.
Thank you.
exemptions, correct?
Did you want to talk about?
And, yeah, I'm gonna,
They're all warmed up for this.
did we want to talk about?
Third time.
We need to make the motion to go into executive session, not return, right?
Are we ready?
Yeah, well, I don't know, am I missing something?
Is there all business?
No, we can talk after.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, it's not, yeah, there's nothing,
Okay.
yeah, there's, if there's information that wasn't available before the 48-hour period, we really can't talk about it, so, okay. All right, so, the only other, oh, hang on, the only other piece of new business that I do have, that I do want to bring up is, actually, I already covered it. I'm looking at my notes here, I apologize, I'm a little
Nobody
off.
shut
there,
those
so-
doors?
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to go into executive session. So we're going to go into executive session to discuss statutory exemptions. And we will not be coming back into executive session since there's nothing else left on our agenda. So, anyone want to make that motion?
I make a motion to enter executive session, not to return.
Second.
Any further discussion? Because it's executive session, not returning to open session, we'd have to do a roll call vote. Olivieri, aye.
Lamoureux, aye.
LeBlanc guy.
Okay, we are in executive session.